Hey everyone, it's Rachel here, Oracle spiritual healer and teacher. And today we'll be doing a look at the week of April 7th, see what's going on energetically, what message Spirit has for the collective. And I'm using two very old school Doreen Virtue decks. And I can't remember the name of them now, but I'll see if I can get them at the end. Yeah, so there's been a lot going on um, in the world, and again, I just want to say the readings that we do are really for the collective, um, and it's always easier to feel into the things that are closer to you, right? Because the energy is is more intense. The closer you are to somebody or a place. Um, and so even though I'm in the States. The information that I'm asking to receive, the information I'm sharing with you all for these monthly forecasts, weekly forecasts, really are for the collective. And how you want to interpret them for yourself, you want to think about it is that there's different sort of um, depths to each thing that we talk about. So as you can see on a global scale, there's so much changing. There's so much transformation taking place. So many things that are happening quickly too, collapsing quickly, a new system being put in place quickly, um, a new person being put in the position quickly or being taken out of a position quickly. So this is happening everywhere, right? It could be happening maybe at work or, in your government. So there's different sort of levels to all these things we talk about. The transformation you're experiencing could be happening more internally and not so much externally in your reality, right? Where it's not something that's so much in your awareness. But it's all happening because it's energy, right? And so the energy impacts us differently. We all perceive it slightly differently. And I'm just shuffling away, but and so I just wanted to say that because I am newer to YouTube, and I have watched some other people, not so much what I do, but who are, a part of the spiritual community, metaphysical community that do forecasts and readings. And so I'm not someone who's interested in over exaggerating or dramatizing anything that's happening. And it's fine if, nothing against any of those people, or if that's what you like, nothing against that. But what I am offering is a more grounded approach at looking at all these things, so that instead of feeling chaotic, even when things are appearing chaotic, to find some sense of how do you stay more level through all of it? How do you stay more at peace, more calm within during all of it? Yeah, how do you find your North Star, your guiding light, so that you don't sort of, your life doesn't sort of become chaotic and destroyed and on these large dramatic scales, right? We're always constantly going through this sort of death and rebirth, some of us more than others. But how do we navigate that? How do we not let it consume us? So let's see what Spirit has to say for this week, April 7th. I usually do record these earlier because I don't always have time leading up to the day that they are posted. Let go. Let it go. Yeah. And that's just speaking to, and I love that it's Kuan Yin, right? And if you don't know Kuan Yin, she's a goddess through the Buddhist lineage. It's all about compassion and kindness with her. Deeply compassionate, deeply kind. But the letting go is letting go about your preconceived notions about how all of this should be taking place. All of it. It's letting go so there's not resistance. And she's saying, for some of you, it is hard to fathom that this is a part of the process that's needed for us to move forward. For some of you, you're starting to understand. And there are others that, that have sort of known it for longer or felt it for longer. But she's speaking specifically to those that are having a difficult time seeing all this sort of chaos happening around, um, and almost trying to hold on or preserve something before, something that might not feel old, but it actually is old. So all the sort of destruction, the quick changes, the um, new paths that are being chosen. It's all to sort of get us into a better place. So the letting go is letting go of what you think needs to happen or should happen, letting go of your own agenda, even if you think your agenda is great and it's for the better. Just letting it go and be more a part of the flow, the flow of the process that's taking place. And this flow is something is beyond any one person's awareness. This is greater intelligence, this greater wisdom that is guiding us forward. I'm going to have to sneeze, into this new sort of way of being. New way of being, new way of living, new way of operating. And again, I just see so many changes happening in the future. So even us getting through this huge year of change, huge year of disruption, it's not going to end there. Okay, let's see what else. Teacher. Yeah, this has to do with letting the moment teach us, letting the times teach us. Okay, let me listen. Yeah, what he's saying, it's like he's talking to me. Is that we have to allow all that's taking place at this time. And again, it doesn't matter where you look on the world. It doesn't matter what pocket of the world you look at. It's letting the things that are happening teach us about what's not working, really about what's not working, because we haven't figured out how to make things really work for people. We haven't figured that out yet. We have some ideas. A lot of them haven't been implemented or implemented well. But so it's letting the moment teach us. And if we allow the moment to teach us, we'll be taken to better solutions for the future. And this, again, doesn't matter, if you want to focus on water, if you want to focus on, how we socially interact, policy, doesn't matter what you look at. Allow the moment to be your teacher, and it'll guide us in the right direction. It's a good one. Yeah. We've been getting a lot of this message lately in different forms. And I love that Kuan Yin, and this is Jesus here, both showing up together. Again, so much love and compassion in the energy of those beings. So much kindness, so much like friendship, camaraderie, like we're in this together. I care for you as much as I care for myself. There's this reciprocity. And this again is reminding us of loving each other, loving the people in your family, loving the people in your community, taking care of them, thinking about them, you know, even for yourself, even if, your world is smaller. And for most of us, it really is. It's how do my actions affect the people I care about, the people I love? How do my decisions impact them? And so that's really what it's we're all this is what's happening. We're all coming back into our heart. Where all of us, our hearts are opening more. Again, there's people who are resisting that. um, but for those who aren't, uh, our hearts are opening more. We're coming back more into this living from this place, truly, truly. Yeah. So that is continuing. That's a continued message. Yeah, more. This has to do a lot with this sort of leadership piece I've talked about for this month. New people stepping up, new ideas coming forward, new solutions coming. People are feeling this energy, the being bold. They're feeling like, yeah, this is my time. This is the time. We have to do this now. I have to speak up. I have to act. And you may be one of those people. If you don't feel like you're one of those people, then you're going to see other people doing it. Um, yeah, and large scale, small scale. But this is mostly on a larger scale because there's so many things happening right now. And, how we sort of shift a lot of these courses is that people has to come from people have to stand up. They have to say something. They need to do something. And so you're going to see more of that coming this week. More. It feels like something big that'll have a large impact. So we'll see what that is. Yeah. And sacred space. That has to do with that sort of inner calmness I was talking about. And if we can find that place inside of ourselves through whatever practice you resonate with. I've been offering things on YouTube that I hope people are finding useful. Meditations, visualizations. I don't think I've done any breath work yet, but I have a list I'm working through. But any sort of exercise practice that helps you get back to your voice, your authentic, true voice, not the sort of distorted voices we have in our mind, everyone gets, but back to your true voice and tapping into what's actually happening, what's actually taking place. And that's from a place of not being worried. Worry is not truth. Worry is our stuff coming up. It's our fear, our insecurities. So it's not truth. But when we can use our practices to become centered, grounded, embodied, we can hear the truth. And from that place, when we act from that place of truth, more magic happens. More magic happens. Yeah, more beauty takes place, more connection is able to take place. So it's really continuing to come back to that. Finding your sacred space within, on the land, and, a temple space, whatever that is, a church, whatever that is for you, and connecting, finding the truth and the wisdom from within. Oh, here's Green Tara. Start delegating. Let me see what that's about. Yeah. So this has to do with community people coming together for community efforts. Um, and what she's showing me, it's, for example, like farmers um, being impacted. How can they come together as a community and support each other, build something new when, like, for example, in the States, when the government's sort of failing them right now. The things that used to support them, that they used to be able to rely on, have failed them. So building something together in community that's going to be supportive. And so coming together and figuring out, okay, who could do this and who could do that. And the farmers are just an example. This is for, any group, any sort of community that feels like it needs to sort of take charge um, and take care of themselves. And so starting to build something and put things together. And what she's saying is you'll be surprised at how many resources exist when you start to, um, you know, when you start to decide to do something, to take action, the things just sort of fall in place. You meet the right people and they have the right resources, whether it's monetary or intellectual or, like tools. But they have the right resources are coming together for that new thing to be created. And why is that? It's because this is part of this time. This is part of this time in history for these things to take place. This whole globalization movement we went through was really to connect us, and it's not that that's going to go away, but that connection is going to happen, continue to happen more like this through the internet, through the air. And what I see coming, and it's again, this isn't just for the states, but globally, is the sort of coming back into local and regional resources. The example I like to use is, getting your olive oil from Greece because they have the best olive oil. Well, I might have to get it from California now, which isn't a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing at all. But that's what I see happening long term globally is we're actually going to be utilizing and connecting with the people more local, more regionally located for our needs and not shipping things halfway across the world. So this is all, this is part of our message for this week, but these are messages that keep recurring, right? They've been recurring um, for a long time, and I haven't been on this outlet for very long. But I'm telling you, a lot of these messages keep coming back because these are bigger messages for the time that we're in. Um, yeah, there's something else I want to share this week. Mhm. Children. So this is literally about the children and giving them something to look forward to in their life. Because right now, how they're putting it, the trajectory we've been on, we would have left, what is it, like the Gen Alpha generation with very little, a very sick planet. Um, yeah, most things dirty, very dirty. That's what they're showing me. Just a very sick earth. Few animals, dirty air, filthy water. Um, and so the trajectory we were on would have led to this sort of everything just being depleted. Um, and there's a lack of. And so these shifts are taking place partly for that too, for them not to have that. Um, yeah. And so to think about, the generation of young people right now, again, how are we going to take care of them? How are we going to make sure they have the things that they need when they are our age? Um, yeah. The other thing they're saying about the children is to make sure that they're doing well emotionally and mentally. The kids that aren't doing well physically would also not be doing well emotionally or mentally. Most of those kids, how they're describing it, it's a different frequency. So the the kids in the families that are sort of in that space where their basic needs are being met is a different sort of frequency than if you're more stable in that way. And for that group of people, um, so this could include people in poverty, people who are in countries in war or have been through war. Um, yeah, so those sorts of people, um, I still see them going through hardship, but eventually a new policy will be put in place to help support those people, and it'll be different from pocket to pocket, country to country. Like the timelines are different for each place, but that there'll be support, be new systems in place to support those people and to bring them back into some sense of normalcy. If that's not you, which probably isn't because those people aren't watching YouTube. Um, so if that's not you, it's really thinking about the emotional and mental health of the young people, um, whether they're in your life or just in general. Because if they're emotionally, like if they're emotionally well, if they're emotionally satisfied, if they're emotionally sort of happy, bright, vibrant, energetically, they're going to stay positive. It's like they're going to stay mentally and emotionally positive, and they can sort of carry the torch on. So wherever we are left, at the end of this sort of huge transition, the earth, all of us are going through. And again, this is a multi-year process. It's like the Gen Alpha and the one after that. I don't know what that generation is called. Will be able to carry the torch forward in moving things, you know, in the direction of more progress and not moving backwards. So taking care of more people, basic needs being met of more people, um, staying heart centered. Yeah, just everything being elevated to its next expression. So they'll be able to do that. Um, Gosh, a lot this week. This is all really good stuff, and it's kind of heavy, in some way. It feels very like a lot of responsibility here. Um, so I hope this serves you well. Please consider liking and subscribing if you have not. Thank you to all the people who have commented. I do read all the comments. If you ever have questions, let me know. I love questions. That helps me also just think of something to share with you all. So if you have a question, you want to know something, you want me to look at something, let me know in the comments and I will make a video just for you.